Hello, I'm Yashua. First and foremost, to give a praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Nabashai, Bahashim Kakadash. This is the brother, Ramya, back at you with another video. Today's going to be a little short lesson, let's drive and talk. Basically going into, being diligent, in this word. Because as you know, we all fighting for a seat in the chariot. We all fighting, for salvation, in hopes to gain that salvation from Yahweh Shem Shai, as he always say, as the scriptures say at least, many are called but a few are chosen. It's only a elect number of men that's going to make it already on our first go lap, and we hope to be a part of that elect number, all the like-minded are coming around the four corners of the world, and that's doing this truth and all, that is doing this truth in all sincerity and honesty, and this is what we have to do, follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai if you want to gain that salvation. This is the book of Psalms 119:1. This was lingering on my mind all day today at work, so through the spirit of most of that I bring this lesson, hopefully be much edifying as they stated. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, walk in the law of Yahweh Shem Shai. What is the law? Everything that he has commanded us to do, everything that he say we must do, according to the book, the right way. That's the thing that the Most High command us to do. That is his law. His law, statutes, and commandments. The ways that he say are right. Those are his laws. Verse 2. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. You can't come to Yahweh Shem Shai half step. You have to come to him, in wanting to be, delivered. In wanting to gain the truth. In wanting to want his spirit and following his ways, you have to come to him wholeheartedly. And the only way that could happen is if you're doing this law, statutes, and commandments, in all truth and sincerity. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You have to become fully committed to this thing. Because walking in the shoe is like walking in the eggshells. Any wrong move, and that egg could crack. Verse 3. They also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. How will they not do iniquity? Because they follow in his ways and all they follow in his ways in all truth and sincerity, following his ways and best of their abilities according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Holy Scriptures. That's how they will not do iniquity, because they doing his will, following his ways to the best of their abilities, to the best that they can. Verse 4, thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. What is his precepts? Going back to verse 1, his laws, the scriptures, what he say in the scriptures he has outlined for us to do. That's how we keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we follow his precepts diligently. Verse 5, oh, that my ways are directed to keep thy statutes. We doing all this in hopes to gain our salvation, all this in hopes to please Yahweh Shem Shai, because no matter how much righteousness we do, it's like filthy rags then, because we still inside these fleshly bodies. We still think in iniquity. We still do things subconsciously, going off before the Most High. So we trying to the best of our abilities to walk in his statutes, by following his precepts and keeping them diligently, And only one way to do that, is to fully commit, as verse 2 said. You have to come to him with a whole heart. You can't come off stepping. It's the book of Proverbs 24 and verse Proverbs 24. Proverbs 12 and 24. It reads, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. The slothful shall be under tribute. Those that, slunking in this thing, those that's not following his ways, his laws, statutes, and commandments. Those are the men that's going to be under tribute. But those that's doing those that are diligent in this work, shall bear rule, shall be saved in our first go lap, 27. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. Being diligent in the Most High is more important than anything. It's more valuable than anything. And that's what we have to do in these times. As time draws nigh towards the end, we have to continue to follow in His ways, laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. And it's only one way we can do that, by following His laws, statutes, and commandments. Only one way we can do that. By His laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities, follow Him into the T. Because anything could cause us to go off. We got to be diligent. You got to continue to push and strive for this truth. Let me get that. My next precept. It's like here. This is the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha. Read, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. We want to continue to strive for this truth, continue to do the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You got to show the Most High that you really want it. As I stated in the opening, many are called, but a few are chosen. So you got to continue to push on this word, like no other. Because your life really do depend on it. Because the Most High could take you out at any moment. But hopefully this lesson was much edifying and serve this purpose. I'll give a princess to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for putting the spirit upon me to do this video. Shalom.